Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to another one of these little speed paint videos. Sorry, I'm clicking around because I'm looking at stuff. This time, I'm gonna talk about the art. This one's a bit of a long one. This one might be the longest out of the three that I've made so far. So there'll be a lot of time to talk about the art. You saw, I'll address it right now. You saw real quick that like I had a baby sketch and then all of a sudden I had a full sketch. It is because I originally sketched both of these images. There's two of them. Both of these images on a different canvas, and then I brought them over to resize them to the size that I actually needed them for. So these two images that I'm showing, that I'm drawing right now, were for a music video. Patchy, 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 patchy. One of my dreams as a kid has been to be an utaitte, but another part of that was like drawing the music video art for like covers and other utaittes and stuff like that. And I got to do that for the first time. This is the like first official time that I got to do that, which was super duper exciting. So this is for, let me double check some facts here just to make sure that I have everything. I should have taken notes. I really should have. And I will leave less cut out this time because, well, I don't really cut a lot, but I will leave less cut out this time because this one is so long. This is for the song Sakebigoe, an original song produced by AllMightStudio on Twitter. They are a composer and also a mixer and overall musician. They're really great. And this is an original song that they had people audition for, and the people that were selected for the audition were Shiroku and Freyja Cesteline. Freyja Cesteline is my baby girl. Hi. They reached out to me about making the music video art, and I was ecstatic. It was awesome. It was great. I had a lot of fun designing these outfits and a lot of fun making this. It took a long time. I like double or tripled the size of my usual canvas. Usually I work in 1920 by 1080, which is like the average like screen size. But for this I made it like a couple times bigger just so then the pen size and the stroke size didn't get like crunchy if they zoomed in, because I know, like, you know, when you watch music videos, whether it be for utaitte or covers or original songs or like music videos with any anime stuff, Project Sekai, all that shit, what was I saying? Oh, okay, sorry. It's very late and I'm very sleepy. I've been up since 4 a.m. and it is currently 9 p.m. so I'm a little sleepy. But usually for those, like, they'll zoom in, they'll zoom out, they'll, twist and turn the image, like, rotate it and all that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that, like, no matter what resolution, it wouldn't lose quality. So I made these a lot bigger, on the, like, current canvas that I'm working on. As you can see, I am doing the line art. I redid those lines a couple times. I'm honestly really happy with these. I think one thing that I wasn't 100% content with, which is why these pieces took a while, because like I hit a road bump with the line art. Not with the line art, excuse me, with the rendering. I had done all the line art. I had worked super duper hard on it. I was super happy with it. Line art is my favorite part of the art process. So I was ecstatic to do it. Like, okay, like, line art is a favorite of mine, I think, because line weight and having control over like the lines and how they look and the movement and the action and stuff like that is fun for me to do. It's not always my favorite thing to do, because sometimes I sign myself up for too many details, but I really do like line art. Line art is my favorite thing to do. When I have the energy for it, and when my brain puts the dots together and lets me do them, line art's fucking fantastic. So notes that I was given for the designs and also for the outfit and the general vibe for the song, because the song wasn't done at this point. I was working on this while the song was being like finalized in its production, and also before the what was it? There was something else that was not complete at that time, but I was given samples and I was given a general vibe and description. I had designed and thumbnailed like some outfit designs, and they got approved, so that's when I started to do this. I have finished the line art, so now I'm putting down like basic colors and starting the rendering process. I think that with this piece, the rendering isn't bad. I don't think that it's bad. I think that the line art, I killed it, and the posing and the emotion, I also killed it. I think that mainly in the face and in some parts of like the hands and the skin, I think that I didn't determine light sources as efficiently as I could have, and I think that in trying to define like the shapes and like the contours and like whatever the fuck else that was there, I both did too much and didn't do enough in certain areas, and I think that the skin is the main problem for me with these two images. I did a great job, but I think that I could have done better. With here, I'm struggling with Freyja Cesteline's hair. It's not a bad thing. I think I did awesome in like actually drawing and designing the hair and like putting it together. But the thing is, grays and whites are hard to shade. They're not hard to shade, right? But like, you know, like for example, like if you're shading with a blue, you can go into a purple in the shadows, and then you can go into like a green or a pink in the highlights or whatever. Or for pink, you can go into purples also, and then go into yellows. For greens, you could go into blue, or you could go into yellow for the shadows, and you know, all that other stuff. But for grays and for whites and for blacks, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much wiggle room that you have, since they are like pure hues. So I was having a little bit of trouble with like deciding what shade of gray and also like what kind of gray I was going to use for the hair, so then I could make sure that it wasn't too high contrast, but also like wasn't devoid of like form and definition. I really do like the way it came out. I just remember like struggling a lot with trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it and what I wanted the vibe to be. I'm using my general rule, or like the things that I like to do the most. Like you see how like it's changing in hue. It got darker and like less saturated, but then a little bit earlier it was a bit more purple, and now it's still like in that like purple grayish area. I struggled a lot. Also with the highlight too, I wasn't really sure where to go, but in the past I've shaded different grays, and I've enjoyed making the highlights kind of rainbow in hue, so I went with that. I think I changed it later, but I'm not really sure. I'm watching this in real time with you. For this, I wanted to take my rendering a bit more seriously, which is why like I went so hard with the hair and everything. So I tried to really make it seem real and good and defined and stuff. I went in, you saw me put like some purple on the edges of the white shirt, and that is because I wanted to, what is it called? Surface? Is it surface refraction? It's something. It's like, so when you have a thing in a space, and you have a light on, the light that shines on the object and the light that creates the shadow on the object, those aren't the only light sources that are defining the shape that you see in front of you, right? So like when you have an object and you have a light on, there's a light source and then there's a shadow, right? But the thing is, when you have a light on and you're in a room or you're in a specific space or you're in whatever, you're at a lake, light isn't just hitting the object, light is also hitting the floor or the surface that the object is on. Light is also hitting the walls, light is also hitting, if you're by like the ocean or whatever, it's also hitting the water. Depending on how close you are, how close the object is to the water, you will see that reflection and that sort of like, you know, existence of water or of blue or of whatever in the shadows and in you know, the edges of the object, because light isn't just a strict direct thing. It can be, but it isn't necessarily like a direct, like from light bulb to object. It like shines vibrantly, so it shines all over. There's no, you know, there's no limit to it. So it'll bounce off the wall and then bounce onto the object. It'll bounce on the ceiling and bounce onto the object. It'll bounce off of you if you're in the same room, and it'll bounce onto the object. So I tried to apply rules that I was well aware of in in lighting and in lighting in general and illustrations and stuff, to really, I guess, like give weight to the clothing and to the figures. I messed around, so we're back to Freyja. I messed around with like the whites of her clothes, because I didn't want it to be the same exact like white or gray as the hair, because I first went with a blue. Usually when you shade a white, it's blue. When you're drawing, it's just, I don't know, it just feels right? Like if you look at a white in a white object and there's shadow, it's usually blue or something. I don't remember the reason why, but I wanted to kind of mess with it, because I felt like if it were blue, a blue shadow on the shirt and then also blue shadows in the hair, it would just look too bland and too flat. So I tried to make the shadows in the whites of the clothes a bit warmer, just so then there was more excuse me, I'm just yapping. Let me take a little sip of tea. So then there was more warmth and more like life in the whites, instead of it just being all blue. Take a little sip of chamomile tea, dude. I'm getting cozy. I'm getting comfy. Yeah, I really liked the way I did Freyja's hair and Freyja's outfit, Freyja's everything. This is Shiroku, who is the other person in this original song. Both of them knocked it out of the park. Everybody who worked on this shit knocked it out of the park. It's a fantastic thing. I will for sure link it below, and I will credit and link to everybody who's involved in this project. Here at Shiroku, I feel like I think both poses are really, really strong, but the composition for this one, well, no, there's no real comparison. They're both incredibly like nice and not flattering, but like fun to look at. I remember when I was working on the faces and when I was working on the expressions, I did get some notes back about how saturated they were. I remember All Might was like, oh, there's a little bit too much red over there. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess you could say I have like, I don't have Tumblr art disease, but there are some things that I like picked up from being an artist on Tumblr back in the day. So like saturated reddish noses, saturated reddish cheeks and stuff like that. So sometimes I get carried away with the hue, I think. So it's good to have some sort of feedback. Like, you see how it got brighter, and I was going to keep that. So I'm glad that they gave me that note back. I don't know. I'm really proud of these. I think I did a good job. Like, you see how, like, the eyes are brown, and then there's, like, a little bit of blue. Like, that's, like, the surface. I really don't remember what it's called. I know what it's called because I'm a drawer, and I did some school stuff for drawing, but I don't remember the name of it right now. Surface occlusion, surface refraction, surface... I don't remember. But anyways, like, yeah, so it's, like, with the eyes, the same thing happens, right? Like, it's, like, light doesn't just shine on your face or on your eyes in order for you to be able to see it. It also like reflects everything else in the room. So yeah, I like the design on both of the dresses. I think I did a pretty good job. I like designing clothes, but I feel like sometimes my design skills are very, very, very limited to the things that I like in terms of shape and in terms of shapes that I would put on my own body. So for example, like I've worn a corset. Do I think that big sleeves like that are like great and would I personally put them on? No, but I did grow up listening to Vocaloid, and I did grow up like seeing like original art on DeviantArt and on Google of just like all these girls with like these arm sleeves and stuff like that. Hatsune Miku with her arm sleeves and stuff. So I think that there are a lot of indirect references to the things that I've loved over the years, and also things that I would like maybe like to wear, and then also just like in general that show up in the fits that I design. And while like they're not the best in my opinion, because there are some people who are nasty at designing outfits, I think that I did like a pretty good job for like designing the outfits from scratch, and then also like posing everything and thumbnailing everything. And yeah, right now I guess I'm just getting to do all the parts of the outfit to render. This is usually the way that I go about the process. I will just like work my way down. I always start with rendering the skin. It's just a habit I picked up from from watching like speed paints when I was a kid, but also I guess you could say it is from my like education background, in that like when I didn't paint that much, but I was in an art school, so like they would be like, hey, this is the way that you want to go about drawing, because you want to build layers. So like you would start from the bottom and then you would go up and up and up. So when you're doing like an oil painting, you like block everything out, and then you would probably start with the face, because then hair and then clothes and then everything else go on top of that. So I usually start with the skin, not because of like, you know, my background again, but because like that's the shit I saw in tutorials, and it just so happened to be like the thing that people kind of just like follow suit. Yeah, so like the same thing that I did with Freyja's outfit, I did with Shiroku's outfit. So I wanted the whites to match each other, so I also made these whites warm in hue. I think while I was rendering them, I wasn't 100% happy with how dark the like hues were, but I think I did like remedy that later. Then I'm coloring my line art. I don't usually do that, but I do like what it does, and I try to practice that because I really like the way it looks. I just like after a certain point I get a little impatient in the art process, so like even though I want to do it so then it like kind of blends everything together a bit better, I just get kind of lazy sometimes. And then I think at this point I'm just adding final finishing touches. Yeah, I'm still like super happy with this. This is my first venture into music video art, and I think that I did a great job, and I'm really excited for many more opportunities. There are a couple more opportunities that have already sort of kind of come up, so I'm excited for you guys to see that. But thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!